Hello everyone! As you may or may not know if you've been keeping up with my videos, I am starting out my own little reverse diet process, and as such I have been getting a ton of questions from you guys about how to go about this and the nitty-gritty details and should I do this and should I do that. So for the next few videos and kind of throughout this entire process, I'm going to be answering all of your guys' questions. Today's video though is specifically just about the process of doing a reverse diet. The overarching goal for a reverse diet is basically just to be able to eat more than you're currently eating to maintain your weight, but there are a lot of other sub-goals in there as well. For example, one of the main goals of a reverse diet is to speed up your metabolism, also to increase lean mass. A lot of people will start a reverse diet in order to be able to eat more with minimal fat gain, or people will also start this process because they've been in a big deficit for a while, either because they're a competitor or they've just been trying to lose weight for a while, and so they've been in a deficit and they need to reverse out of that to be able to eat at their maintenance calories with minimal fat gain. Okay, the sun keeps going behind clouds and then coming back out, so if the lighting keeps changing in this video, I'm sorry. If you're wondering if you're someone who needs to do a reverse diet, I talked all about who a reverse diet is good for and who should definitely consider a reverse diet in my previous video, so I will link that down in the description and also up there, and I highly recommend checking that out if you're like, should I do a reverse diet? I don't know, it sounds like a cool thing to do. Check out that video. I explain it all in there. And I am also personally in the process of going through a reverse diet, and I will be documenting it on my YouTube channel. So if you are at all interested in learning more about this or just want to watch someone go through this process before you decide to do it for yourself, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button and also give me a thumbs up so I know that you want to see more content about this. And if you do have any questions that I don't address in this video and didn't address in my previous video, make sure to leave them down below because I will be trying to answer everyone's questions in the next few weeks as I go through this process. But going back to the goals of reverse dieting, being able to eat more is kind of the main overarching goal, but there are so many other benefits that are kind of side effects that come along with this process. The first and probably biggest benefit for most people is the freedom that you get surrounding food and being able to be free from the restrictive mindset that most people are in. We're all constantly told, and women especially are told, that in order to stay lean and skinny, you need to eat like as few calories as possible. And this could not be further from the truth, but this mindset has just been so pervasive that it's really hard to escape it. And going through a reverse diet, speeding up your metabolism, and being able to eat an extra 500 calories to maintain your weight can just drastically change how you view food, how you view your relationship with food and with health and your body and with exercise, and it has the potential to just make you so much happier with nutrition. It can also give you more energy because you're literally giving your body more energy to do this process. It can help you balance your hormones and fix your sleep because a lot of people who deprive their bodies for a long time end up having a lot of issues with their hormones and their sleep. It'll make your workouts more effective. It'll make cutting easier in the long run. If you just have like 5 or 10 pounds left that you want to lose and you've been struggling to lose that last bit of weight and you don't want to drop your calories any lower, doing a reverse diet will help you get to the point where your cutting calories might actually be your original maintenance calories, and it just becomes so much easier to lose those last few pounds. So with that being said, I want to get into the process of doing a reverse diet, the step-by-step how-to, answering your questions, etc. But first I really want to say that this is an extremely individualized process. Doing this properly and correctly is going to be different for every individual. So there are 4 main principles of reverse dieting. The first one is that you need to slowly increase your calories over time. So you want to be able to eat more, but you can't just go from 1,500 calories to 2,000 calories all of a sudden because your body won't know what to do with all of that excess energy. It will just store it as fat. So you have to take your body slowly and teach it how to use more calories little by little. The second principle of reverse dieting is lifting heavy. You need to be lifting heavy to do this effectively. And when I say heavy, I mean in about the 3 to 12 rep range, where the last 2 reps are really freaking hard, but you can do them with good form, and you should be focusing on compound lifts. The 5 main compound lifts are the squat, deadlift, bench press, barbell row, and overhead press, and all of these utilize more of your body, more different muscle groups, and so they're much more efficient. The biggest reason you're going to see an increase in your metabolism on a reverse diet is because you're building muscle through lifting. Muscle is a very energy expensive tissue to keep on the body, so it not only takes a lot of extra calories to build muscle, but it takes the body a lot more calories to just maintain your muscle mass. So as you start to eat more, those extra calories now have a place to go. They go towards maintaining and building muscle mass. So if you aren't sending your body the signal to build muscle, those calories really don't have a place to go. The third principle of reverse dieting is to make sure you're eating enough protein. If you've never tracked macros before, chances are you're under eating protein. You should aim for approximately 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body weight. If you want to make this the least confusing as possible, just go with 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's gonna get you pretty darn close to where you need to be. And then the fourth principle of reverse dieting that I feel like is often overlooked in articles and videos about the reverse dieting process is that if you're doing cardio, you should be slowly reducing your cardio. Cardio is not bad for you. I am not saying that at all. It's just that your body adapts to cardio. So if you're trying to burn 500 calories through cardio a day, your body actually slows down your metabolism to burn fewer and fewer calories through cardio. So it kind of does the reverse of what you're trying to accomplish. With lifting, you're sending a signal to build. With cardio, you send a signal to break down. So you should slowly reduce the breaking down signal and increase the building signal. And those combined is going to massively help your metabolism increase. Depending on how much cardio you're doing, you might want to cut it down by anywhere between 15 and 60 minutes per week. So those are the 4 principles of reverse dieting. Now the first one, the slowly increasing the calories one, is the one that everyone always has a ton of questions about. It's also the one that needs to be individualized the most in my opinion, but I'm going to give you a general outline for what you should do. In order to stay ahead of the adaptation curve and make sure that your body continues to adapt rather than plateau, you should increase your calories pretty much every week. If you're not already eating about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, you're going to want to start increasing your calories with protein. So every week, you're going to increase the amount of protein you're eating until you get to 1 gram per pound of body weight. From there, in order to increase calories, you should alternate between increasing carbs and increasing fat every other week. If you want to just increase them both at the same time, you can. It's just a little bit easier to do one at a time. And you want to continue doing this until the fat that you're consuming is at least at a healthy point for your body weight. From there, you can choose to just continually increase carbs every week, or you can continue to increase fat if you find that you function better on a higher fat diet. Though I will say that since a huge part of this process is building muscle, increasing carbs is going to give you a slight advantage in that department, so I do recommend focusing on increasing your carbs once your protein and your fat are at a healthy amount. And from there, you can just keep increasing calories until you're basically eating the amount that you want to eat within reason. I wouldn't recommend that if you're a 5'2" female like me, you try to increase your calories to 5,000 calories, because there is research that does show that eating fewer calories might actually be better for longevity. So you don't want to get to a point where you literally have to constantly cram food down your throat in order to hit your maintenance calories, but you can continue reverse dieting until you're at a point that is comfortable for you, that you're happy to stick to, and makes your life easier. Or if you're reverse dieting to come out of a deficit, you can just stop when you get to the point where your normal maintenance calories should be. You don't have to keep speeding up your metabolism beyond normal. So that is the general process for increasing calories, but the number of calories that you should be increasing by every week is going to vary based on a lot of different factors, and in general, I would say the increases should be between about 50 to 250 calories a week. And I will give a little bit more guidance on that in just a second, but I do want to say that this is something that you can kind of judge for yourself as you go through this process. So if you decide to increase by 250 calories every single week and you notice that you're just gaining a ton of fat, that's probably a little bit too much for you. If you choose to increase by 50 calories every week and you're not noticing any change at all, maybe you can increase the rate at which you're increasing your calories. So there's kind of a spectrum on which you might fall within the reverse diet group. So we're gonna draw an axis. There's the people that need to do this more as a recovery diet and people that are doing this more as a reverse diet. And then on this end of the spectrum, there's the people who have been in a deficit for a long time and were actually losing weight in a deficit. And then there's the people who have just been maintaining their weight on a very low number of calories. So you're gonna be closer to the recovery end of the spectrum if you are a competitor that has been like hardcore dieting for the last 12 weeks and probably messed up your hormones a little bit and are not in optimal health, or if you're someone who has been maintaining weight on very low calories for a long time to the point where you have almost definitely tanked your metabolism, you're getting some negative health effects from this, etc. You're gonna be more on the reverse diet end of the spectrum if you just want to increase your metabolism for the fun of it. You want to do a lean bulk, you have been in a deficit but not like a hardcore competitor deficit. So if you're someone closer to the recovery end of the spectrum where getting your calories up is kind of necessary for health and proper bodily function, then you might want to start a reverse diet by doing a bigger initial increase in calories. So maybe you start with a 250 calorie increase or a 500 calorie increase, depending on how steep your deficit was. If you're currently in a deficit looking to reverse diet, your reverse diet can be a lot quicker than someone who's starting from their maintenance, because as you increase calories, you're still going to be in a deficit for a while. It's going to take you a while to even get to maintenance. So you might even initially lose weight as you continue to increase your calories because you're still in a deficit. Whereas if you're starting at your maintenance calories trying to increase your metabolism, it might be a little bit slower of a process because any extra calories are going to put you in a surplus and your body needs to learn how to utilize those extra calories. You're also going to want to adjust your calorie range based on how quickly you are personally able to gain muscle versus fat. So if you're someone who gains muscle pretty easily, you can get away with eating a much bigger surplus than someone who gains fat a lot more easily. So let's say you are someone who has been in a deficit for a while, you want to reverse out of it back to your maintenance. If you are a larger human, like you're 6 foot, you put on muscle pretty easily, you can almost definitely start with like a 250 calorie increase. Whereas if you're a bigger than average person, but you tend to put on fat a lot more easily, maybe you should start with a 150 calorie increase. But if you're starting from your current maintenance calories, either because you plateaued at a very low calorie count or you just want to increase your metabolism from where you are now, it's going to take a little bit more time and you need to work in smaller steps. If you are someone whose maintenance calories are on the dangerously low side, where you're not able to get enough nutrition from the calories that you're eating, you're going to want to try to do this process as fast as possible. You want to push your calories to the limit that your body can learn to utilize per week. You may be able to start with a 100 to 150 calorie increase. That would be fantastic. You could get your calories up really quickly that way, but if you do start to gain a lot more excess fat than you should, like according to a doctor, not according to your own view of your body, because that can often be very skewed, then you are going to need to back off a little bit, because gaining a ton of excess body fat isn't really going to help you much in the long run. Or if you're someone small and don't have a lot of metabolic damage like me, like my metabolism is pretty darn average, I'm 5'2", I just want to speed up my metabolism, I want to do a lean bulk, I'm going to be increasing my calories by 50 calories every week. If I start doing that and I'm not really noticing any strength or muscle gains, I might increase to 100 calories per week. If I just start putting on a ton of fat all of a sudden, I might decrease it to 50 calories every other week and see how that goes. So as you can see, it's a very individual process with a little bit of trial and error thrown in there, but hopefully this is able to help clarify a little bit of the how many calories question. As you're going through this trial and error process, it's really important to be able to gauge whether or not what you're doing is effective. So you know that your reverse diet is benefiting you if you are experiencing strength gains in the gym, if you are gaining weight. If you're not gaining weight, you're probably doing something wrong, because even if you manage to not gain any fat, you should be building muscle. Like, that is the key part of speeding up your metabolism. But it's also a good sign if you're sleeping better, if you have more energy throughout the day, if you're noticing signs of your hormones being balanced, or generally any positive health factor that is improving. That's a sign that you're going in the right direction. And after a month or two, if you feel like you get to a point where you're plateauing, where when you eat more calories, you aren't getting any strength gains, nothing's improving, you're just gaining fat, then that could be a sign that you could do like a week-long cut. And this helps you resensitize your body to food, resensitize your body to insulin, and so it becomes much more able and ready to utilize those extra calories once you go back up to your slight surplus. As I was preparing for this video, I asked you guys on Instagram what questions you had regarding reverse dieting, and by far the most prevalent thing that I noticed was a fear of gaining weight. As I just explained, weight gain is practically inevitable if you're doing a reverse diet to speed up your metabolism past your current TDEE. However, not all of this weight gain is necessarily going to be fat gain. You should expect a little bit of fat gain going into this process, and I recommend coming to terms with this before you start this process, but you're also probably going to experience a little bit of water weight gain, because as you increase your carbs, your body just naturally stores more water. Also, as I just said, your muscle mass should be increasing, or else you're kind of doing it wrong. And so increase in muscle mass is going to lead to an increase in body weight. However, if you somehow manage to only increase your muscle mass, your body fat percentage is actually going to go down, even though you're increasing your weight. And some lucky people may actually experience a little bit of weight loss while reverse dieting. As I said before, if you're already in a deficit and you're reversing out of that deficit, you're going to be in a deficit until you hit your maintenance, so you may still lose weight while you're still in that deficit. And then I also talked in a previous video, which I will link up there and down there, that your health can impact how your body metabolizes calories. So if you have been majorly restricting calories for a long time to the point where it's been detrimental to your health, once you start eating more calories, your health may improve to the point where your metabolism kicks in even faster than that. And so you may actually experience a decrease in weight because your body is finally able to function normally and it's able to burn through the calories that you're giving it. But even if you don't lose weight and you do end up gaining a little bit of fat, if you manage to speed up your metabolism, you're still setting yourself up for much easier success in the future. If you think about it in the context of 6 months or a year rather than next week, if you gain a little bit of fat over the course of the next 12 weeks, but your metabolism is like 600 calories higher than it was before, you're gonna be able to lose all of that fat plus more a lot easier than you would have if you had just maintained your current metabolic rate. So as you go through this process, just keep in mind that your body weight is not a sign of your worth. And if you increase your body fat percentage a little bit, it's not gonna make the people who love you any less. Try to stay focused on all of the other positive benefits, the more energy, the sleeping better, the getting to eat more, the getting stronger, the being able to kick someone's ass if they come after you, becoming a freaking superhero. I personally am so excited to go through this process. I cannot wait to get stronger. I can't wait to be hitting PRs on my squats every week. Okay, probably not every week, but like, you know what I'm saying. I cannot wait to go out to dinner with my family or my friends and not worry about how many calories I'm consuming because I know my metabolism's a lot faster and so it can handle it. I do hope this video was helpful for you guys and gave you a more clear idea of how to go about approaching a reverse diet. If you do have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below and I will get to them in future videos. In the meantime, please do like this video if you liked it because it really does support me and my channel and I really do appreciate it and it lets me know that you like this kind of content. We can keep chatting about reverse dieting and getting stronger. Please also share this video with your friends and your family and your fitness buddies. Subscribe for more videos. Hit the notification button so you don't miss those videos and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.